Today our guest on Let's Talk Jonesboro is Police Chief Rick Elliott. Welcome to the show, Chief.
Good afternoon.
Tell us a little bit about what people have been complaining more and more about is trash on the side of the roads and around town. This is something that has reached a level that it's at the attention of your office.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I'm one of the biggest complainers that, there seems to be a lot of trash on the side of our roads nowadays. And I know we've gone through the winter months and our litter crews have not been out like they could have, and due to the weather. But here we are in spring, and it's time I think it's time we start cleaning up Jonesboro. And so in an effort to start cracking down, I've asked my officers to pick up enforcement on if they catch anybody littering, to issue citations for those offenders. If we catch people going to the dump out of Legacy and they're losing their cargo going down the highway, which causes litter, then they're going to be fined also.
Now, littering is something we all know better than to litter. You've heard different slogans and catchphrases through the years, but you don't hear a lot, you don't see a lot of people getting pulled over for littering. But this is a crime.
Well, it is a crime, and for the most part, if there's a police car sitting behind you, you're not going to throw your drink cups out and your hamburger wrapper out, and sometimes even in your cigarette butts.
Right.
But even the cigarette butts, once they accumulate at these intersections by the thousands, and it just looks horrible. To
they don't, and they don't disintegrate like
they don't disintegrate
like natural vegetation, or say if you threw an apple core out of your
Correct.
car, which is not cool either. But at least it's natural.
It will go away a little bit sooner than a cigarette butt.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what's your take on it. In the last 3 years, it feels like we have become a trashier city. We're not trashy, we're a beautiful city, but we do have more and more side road trash.
Well, we do, and you look at the growth of the city and the amount of people that visit the city during the day. There's well over 100,000 folks in Jonesboro area during the daytime.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And that's a lot of traffic, and people that come in sometimes they may not be as considerate of this city, even their own city.
Right.
So therefore, they don't care to litter here because they don't live here. But we just want to encourage people that this is your city. Take care of your city. Take pride in your city. And first, don't litter. And then two, if you have your residence, or if you're a business owner, just go out and police up the area around that from trash. We're going to call on people, the citizens and the business owners of the city, to come together, and let's try to clean up Jonesboro. And we don't take pride in our city.
Well, it's important, and I think sometimes you have to be aware of what's going on. And we were probably children when the Keep America Beautiful campaigns began, and so we kind of became aware of not throwing trash out the car window.
Right.
I know we also use. I don't know if it's inmates or people on public service assignment on the weekend. What is that? Where do they come from?
Well, sure. We'll use people doing public service work to help do our litter control, and primarily they're taking care of the bypass.
Right.
And it takes pretty much a whole day on a Saturday for them just to walk the length of the bypass on both sides and the median, just to get the trash picked up off of it. And the sad thing is, by late that afternoon, there's already trash back out there.
More trash out there.
And a lot of that is just due to things that are blowing out of the back of pickup trucks as they go down the interstate. So, a lot of people don't realize that. They may take a soda can, they get through drinking, they're not throwing it on the road, but they may throw it in the bed of their truck. And then going down the road, the wind catches it, and next thing you know, it is on the road or the side of the road.
And that's a passive way of getting it done, but you really kind of know if you've put it in the back of your pickup that if it's not very heavy, it's probably
there's a good
coming
possibility it's going to blow out.
Yeah. And, we've seen on Harrisburg Road as you go down to the landfill, worse and worse down there. But I think even the Culver House Road going out to Craighead Forest Park, we're seeing more trash on the side of that.
We
road.
are, but we also look at that with our improvements at the park. That park is getting used 3 times as much as it was, say, a couple of years ago. We have added so much to the park, and so many people go out there now, and so the traffic up and down Culver House is, greatly increased. And again, sometimes I think people will get a little careless, or things blow out of their vehicle, and so therefore we're seeing more trash.
So now, if I'm driving down the street and I've got too much, I just had a big hamburger, I'm eating, I'm talking on my cell phone, I'm driving with my elbows, and I decide to throw something out the window. One of your officers pulls me over. What happens to me?
Expect to receive a ticket.
And that ticket might cost me.
$100 or so.
So it's not going to be the price of that wrapper I threw out.
No, it is not. And hopefully we can get some public service work out of you.
And I may have to go pick up some trash a little bit.
We would hope so.
I'd probably do it.
I think I think public service in situations like that would do better than monetary fine.
I think that's probably very true. Now, can people report, or is that open in a hornet's nest if people report seeing littering take place?
Well, you can always report littering. There's things we can do and some things we can't do, but we always encourage people to report, and we'll take it from there.
What are we seeing on the way to the landfill? We're seeing people with trailers that maybe aren't covered.
Well, we have pickups that may not be covered well. We have trailers that may not be covered to prevent things from blowing out. Then we have local sanitation trucks. Some of them may be the city, some of them may be private. But sometimes their load may blow out of the back of the truck. So, we've asked the director of sanitation for the city to make sure that he addresses this with his truck drivers, that to make sure what you have in the bed of that truck is secured and to prevent from blowing out on the way to the dump site.
Now, you guys are more are like, I know you emphasize all law. You're going to enforce all laws, but sometimes you have to emphasize certain things. You've spoken with your officers about emphasizing this? Yes,
we've addressed this because, again, this is a campaign we started looking at a month or so ago, that this comment about the trash in the city and things, especially during the winter months, it's becoming a problem. We're looking at kicking off a big city campaign citywide to really crack down on this and get everybody to hopefully do their part, and and a little bit extra in cleaning up around your house or your business. And again, we just want to make the city of Jonesboro, keep it beautiful.
And it's a good thing. I think everybody can get behind keeping your own city beautiful, but I think what sometimes we don't recognize are the consequences. I know one city that I'll remain nameless that had a company come look to maybe build, open a branch in that city, and would have hired quite a few people, and they said quite bluntly, your city's dirty.
Right. It does have an effect on an economic impact on your city, with the industry coming in to look, because when you have somebody that's looking to build a multi-million-dollar facility, they're going to look at your infrastructure, your roads, your schools, your downtown area, your quality of life overall. And as they're driving around, walking around, and looking, if there's just trash everywhere, then that has a negative effect on your city.
It does.
So that's why we just, again, want to encourage everybody to do your part. Part of our logo is people, pride, and progress. So we want you, the people, to take pride in your city and keep the trash picked up.
Yeah, and we have started a campaign to make people aware of cigarette butts. So if you got a friend, you see somebody just flick a cigarette butt on the ground, let them know that has a cumulative effect. That
Sure.
has an impact. If you see somebody throwing trash on the ground, and it's somebody and you can talk to, say, come on, man, this is my town.
Absolutely.
This is our town. So it's something that I think we're going to prioritize as a city, and as citizens, we should all take pride in it. we are coming up to the end of a school year, so I know things are, you see seasonal trends. Tell us a little bit about what other things that you guys are focusing on at this time of year.
You know, traffic issues. Again, the weather is changing. The spring is here. People are getting out more. People are visiting our parks more now because of the weather. And so, again, we just want to encourage folks that when you're out and about, be safe, be kind and courteous to other people on the road. Our bicycling community is being very active right now because the weather is nice, and our local cyclists are, you know, getting out and enjoying it. Our walkers are getting out more now, and sometimes you just have to share the road. And we just encourage folks to not be in a hurry, be kind and considerate of others, and you know, it doesn't hurt to slow down a little bit and give that person on the cycle or that's maybe on foot, give them room that they need to go on down the road also. Mm-hmm. You know, the law requires 3 foot minimum between you and that cyclist. If you're on a bicycle, 3 foot is really not a lot of distance.
No, it's not.
So, you know, just be kind and considerate and give them that space that they're entitled to. And, you know, we'll have a great spring and summer.
And that's just good courtesy.
It is courtesy, and it's just that's the big thing about Jonesboro. We are a kind, caring, and loving community, and this is just part of being a good neighbor. This is what makes this town so great, because this town is compassionate about things that go on, and we do take care of each other in this town. So we just, you know, don't forget these people also that's on cycling or that's out cycling or on foot.
That's right. Chief, thank you for visiting with us on Let's Talk this month.
All right, welcome.